everyone. Today we are going to automate a small use case. Okay. That is this one. So we need to open this Vodafone Idea plan details portal. Then we need to collect the plan details which are greater than 500 and less than 2000, and we need to store them in a CSV file with appropriate headers. This is our requirement. Okay. So let me develop this one. First of all, I'm copying this URL from here. So let me create a new bot. Naming it as BI automation. I'm creating this bot. So the first step, what I need to do, I need to open this particular URL. So for that, I'm going to the browser package. Under browser package, I'm choosing open command. So here, once I selected the open command, it will ask me that where do you want to open? Do you want to open the particular URL in the existing tab, or new tab, or new window? So I want to open this particular URL in a new browser window. So that's the reason I am selecting the new window. And browser, default browser means, so whatever the default browser in our machine, that can be our default browser here. So for suppose by default browser in any Windows machine in general, that would be the Microsoft Edge. So until unless we explicitly we make any another browser as the default browser. So choosing the default browser is not at all recommended, because if we deploy this program in another machine, the browser may be different. So assume that I am developing this code in my browser, I mean my laptop. So here my default browser is Edge, Microsoft Edge. So I automated this one by selecting the default browser. If I selected this code in my client's machine, in his device, the default browser is Firefox. Assume that. Then this bot gets failed. So that's the reason choosing the default browser is not at all recommended. So for that, we need to drop down and we need to select the appropriate browser, whatever we want to automate. So here I am selecting the Google Chrome. So whenever I select the browser here, it will be open in that particular browser itself, irrespective of default browser. Okay. So here I am doing this, and here I am pasting the URL whatever I want to open, and timeout after means, see, it will be trying for 240 seconds to open this URL. After that, it will be throwing the error. So this is completely optional. Okay, I am leaving it as default. Okay, and saving this. Let me run whether this command is going to be open the URL in the new window or not. I'm running this now. See, this particular window has been opened. But if you observe this, here still it is loading. Okay, now the loading of web page has been completed. Now what I have to do, I need to collect this information, plan, price, along with the validity information. So what is the price of this plan and what is the validity of this plan? Okay, I need to collect this information. After that, I need to validate against to the condition. What is our condition? The plan price should be more than 500 and less than 2000. See, Whenever I get this price, then only I can validate against to this figure, right? That's the reason, irrespective of things, I mean, irrespective of the plan, we need to collect the price of each and every plan, and we need to validate against to this particular condition, that is less than greater than 500, less than 2000. If this condition is satisfied, we are going to log in that plan details into the CSV. If the condition is not satisfying, we are not going to store the data into CSV. That's the requirement. Okay. So for that, first I need to collect this information. Okay. How can I collect this information? Means first, to capture this data, we need to use the command called capture. I'm searching for the capture command. See, we'll be getting different kind of capture things. We need to select the command which is under record package. Remember that to capture the data, we need to select the capture command which is under record package. So I'm taking the capture here, and then whenever I selected the capture command here, it will ask me that from where you want to capture. Do you want to capture the data from a browser or any application or any variable? So see, this is inside the browser. For suppose I am automating the calculator application. At that time, that is the desktop application. At that time, we can go with the application option. And variable is simple thing. I can do one thing. Okay. So here I'll create one variable and I'll select the variable type as window. Okay. Here browser window. I'm naming this variable like browser window. Then I need to select that what should be the value of this particular variable, that is the browser application or desktop application. Means web application or desktop application. If it is web application, we need to choose the browser here and we need to refresh it here. Then all open browsers will be displayed in the coming drop down. See, I have chosen it here. Let me select that VI plans. This is the plan details. See, I have selected like this. Then it will ask that browser title. So what is the browser title so far? Best prepaid recharge plans 2022, best mobile recharge plans, VI Vodafone Idea. This is the header. See, I don't want this much big header. And moreover, see here it is mentioning the 2022. See, this will be running until December 31st of 2022. Whenever next year started, that means Jan 1st 2023 started, this window will be maybe changed like this, right? So to then bot will not be able to execute that. Bot will say that unable to find the window called best prepaid recharge plans 2022. So to avoid this kind of errors, I'll be removing rest of the data here and I'll be replacing that with an asterisk symbol. So this means here the title should be best prepaid recharge plans followed by anything. Okay. And this title should be case sensitive or case insensitive. I'm choosing that like case insensitive. That's the reason I'm disabling this checkbox. Okay. I'm creating this. So like this, I can create the variable and here I can choose that variable browser window. Okay. Like this I can do. Otherwise, directly here itself, I can select the browser and here I can refresh like this. Once I refreshed, I can choose the window whatever we want and we can alter here as well like this. How we did while creating the variable. Both are the accepted methods only. As we are going to use multiple times the same title, it's better to assign to a particular variable. So that's the reason I assigned that particular title to a window type variable and I'm selecting that variable here. So whenever I mention this variable, that means this particular variable is going to refer this particular plan details window. Okay. So far I have selected the window. Then I need to capture the object. So I just giving one left click here. So it's redirected to the page. Here, let me hover to the page. It's still trying to identify fields. Let's wait until it's identify the field. See, it is identifying now. Let me capture this price and collecting this. So I have selected that first plan price. See here, we can check the same in the image as well. So the 299 has been captured as expected. Now what I have to do, I have to store this captured data into a variable. So for that, I need to get this information from the web page to variable. How can I get that? Means take to action to take on object. So I need to take the action on object. So in general, okay, the action what we need to take, get the property, because I need to get the data from the screen, right? To get the data from the screen, the command we need to use is get the property. So what property we need to get? Here we have 47 properties as well. So whenever I capture the object, see here it is showing 7 of 47, right? So that means this particular object, the object means this 299 has 47 properties. 47 properties. Out of those 47, this bot going to validate that object. This bot is going to validate that object against to 7 properties. Okay, these 7 properties satisfy, but is considering that this object is there. If these 7 properties are not going to satisfy, the bot is not considering as object is exist. Okay, this is the requirement. So let's check what are all those 7 properties. So one of the properties HTML tag, and another property is domex path, and another property is hash frame, and another one would be path, and another one frame source, like this. These are the properties. But see here, I need not to go through the defaultly selected properties. I can modify them. See, if I want, I can select the outer HTML class, and I can remove this one. Okay. So now I don't want to validate against to 7 properties. See, it will unnecessarily burden the bot compiler. So I'm removing all the properties and just keeping only 2 properties. I'm removing each and every one here. So now I'm validating against to the tag and domex path. Okay. So now this bot is going to validate against to only 2 properties. Those are tag and domex path. That is fine. Now the thing is here, I said that their bot get the property. The question is which property bot has to be get. So for that, first I need to check what value I need to get. I need to get the this particular object value, right? So what is the value of this object? 299. So for that, I need to go through these all properties. Let me check where this 299 is exist. Okay. So see here, if you observe this HTML inner text, the inner text property has this 299. That's the reason I'll be going here and I'll be choosing that HTML inner text. That means now I am telling to the bot, dear bot, get the property of HTML inner text property. See, whenever you try to get the property in the web application, out of 190 times, the data will be inside the inner text property only. And other 9% of times, the data will be in value property. In the another 1%, that might be the anything in these properties. Okay. Most of the times, inner text and value only. So remember this, guys. So now I told to my bot, dear bot, go to this object against to the tag and domex path, and then get the property of inner text. Once bot gets the property of inner text, where it has to be stored. So for that, we need to store inside a variable, right? For that, I'm going to the bottom side of this panel, and here I'm choosing the variable. See here, default variable, it is showing sample string. That means the expected output of this particular property is string. So I don't want to assign to the default variable. Let me create one variable. How can I create? I can go to variable panel. Here I can choose the variable and I can define like this, thing all this stuff. And another method is directly we can click on this plus x plus symbol here. Then defaultly the type will be selected whatever expected type. If we go manually from the variable panel, we need to choose the type explicitly. But whenever we selected this, the default type will be selected automatically. So now I'll be selecting the naming that plan price. Okay, this is the value. So now this price data is going to be stored inside this plan price. In the same way, I'll be going to capture the validity information. For that, I'm going to take one more capture command, and here I'll be capturing this validity information. See here, I selected the validity information. Here also I am taking the get HTML get property and HTML inner text. And see, out of 7, I don't want the 7. So let me remove rest of the property selection apart from tag and domain path. Here you may get one doubt. So see, how can I choose that or how can I decide that I need to select this path tag and domain path? See, as per experience, I know that this solution is going to work with these two tags. But in general, see, most of the times, if you select the domain path, the bot will run. But this is completely trial and error method. So you need to keep on try. If it is not going to work, you need to change the properties. That's how it will work. So you need to do the trial and error. Okay. And here I'll be assigning that value to the validity variable. Assign to the value. For now, let's check whether this information is capturing so far or not. For that, again, I'm going to the actions panel. I'm taking message box here. I'm taking the message box here. And what I want to print, the plan price along with the validity. So I'm choosing plan price hyphen validity here. Now I'm going to run this. Then now it has to open the window and it has to print the plan price and validity information, that is 299 and 28 days. What is going to run? See, 299 and 28 days. So now whatever we build so far, that is working as expected. Okay. Okay. So this data has been printed, right? But here the requirement is getting the each and every plan details, not the single plan details. Okay. For that, what we need to do is we need to perform the object customization. So how can we do that? Means see, our bot should go through one by one of this information, right? First this one, this object, second this object, and next this object, like this. So to achieve this one, what I'll do is first let me go to our bot here. I'll open this capture command. I'll take the domain path of this one. Okay. I'm copying this domain path. This is the domain path of 299. Okay, guys. So I copied it here. Next, what I'll do is I'll take one more capture command. I will take one more capture command. This time I'll be capturing this 359. Okay, let it capture. So, and now I'll take this domain path of this 359 as well. So once I took this one, let me copy it here. See, if you observe where the path is changing, see, in this div portion, path is changing. Here div 1 is there, here div 2 is there. If I capture the next one, that will be come 3. Let me capture another one. It is 479. If I capture this one, the value will be div 3 here. Let me capture, copy. I'm capturing here. See, it is going to be increased one by one here. So I need to build a loop. So in the first iteration, it should be validated against to div1. In the second iteration, it should be validated against to div2. And third iteration, it will be validated against to div3. Okay, like this, we can implement the what? Assume that here we have 9 plants only. But when we increment like this, whenever it goes to the div10, that object will not be there, right? But in that condition, it should not throw the error. It should be closing softly without error. So we need to build the logic in that way. For that, first what bot has to do? First check that what here bot go and check that div1 is there. If it is there, extract the information. Check that div2 is there. Is there? Extract the information. Check that div3 is there. Is there? Extract the information. The same way check that div10 is there. If div10 is not there, don't do anything. Just skip the loop. That means just stop the extraction. Just stop the extraction. Okay. That's how we need to build the loop. For that, what I have to do? First, I need to check that whether that div1 is there or not. Right. For that, what I'll do is right after this open command, I'll take a loop here. Loop. What should be the loop? Loop while div1 is there. How can I build that? Loop while. So you should not go with the iterator. We'll be discussing about the iterator in coming classes. For now, go with the while. And here, while object exists. What is that object? Object exists. Which object? The object which is inside this particular window. Let me capture that. This 299 object is exist. Okay. So whenever this object is exist, let's capture these two details. That is plan price, and I'm dragging and dropping these two commands inside the loop here. Okay, that is plan price and validity information. But the thing is, so far we are validating against to the object one only. How can I perform the increment here? For that, what I'll do is I'll create a number type variable here called loop counter, and default value I'll be giving it as 1. Okay, and here type should be the number. Why number is I need to add 1 by 1, right? The first iteration it should be 1, in the second iteration it should be 2, in third iteration it should be 3. So I need to perform the addition. That's the reason I need to select the number only. If I select the string and it define the default value as 1, the addition operation will not be performed. That's the reason I'm choosing the number. And here I'll go and in the first div place, let me edit this and remove rest of the properties which I don't want before altering this object domain spot. I'm removing all this stuff. And if you observe, see, these are by default selected. We are not able to uncheck them. That means these are not in our control. This has to be as it is. Okay. And now what I have to do, I need to go to this first div place here. I need to remove this one here and I need to give the what I need to give that loop counter. Okay, how can we give that loop counter? For that, let me give the dollar here. It is not coming up. Okay, let me type it manually. Loop counter dollar. See, whenever I type it manually, it is showing error. Why it is showing error means, see, here the expected format of this domex part is string only. Okay, but see here, if you this forward, see this forward, it is showing that loop counter number type does not return the string value. That's the reason it is throwing the error here. To fix that, what I have to do, I need to put the cursor just before to the end dollar symbol. I need to give one dot here. Whenever I give the dot here, here it will be displayed all conversion methods. I need to convert this number to string. Whenever I perform this conversion operation, see here, it has been fixed. Okay, now it will go one by one. Okay, but the thing is, I need to perform the increment operation as well, right? For that, what I need to do is, I need to go to the number package. The number package, I'll be taking increment. Okay, and here, which value I need to increment? I need to increment the loop counter. Okay, how much I need to increment? One, right? If I want to add 2, I can give it as 2, but I want to increment 1 only. So once I selected the 1, again I'm assigning back to the loop counter only. Then first here the value will be 1. After adding 1, the value become 2, and that will be assigned to the loop counter. Like this, we can perform the increment operation here. Okay. And another method is, we can take the assign, and here I can choose that loop counter. Okay, dot increment, and assign back to loop counter. Both are valid only. Whatever you comfortable, you can choose that one. Okay, both are valid only. You can use that increment option directly, or you can use the assign operation, and you can do that implicit increment like this. Both are valid conditions only. Now let's check this data is fetching one by one or not. So before checking that, see, I perform the object customization inside the loop now. In the same way, I need to perform the object customization here as well, because in the first iteration, first div has to be captured. In the second iteration, second div has to be captured. Like this, it will be work, right? If I don't capture now, even though this loop is going through each and every object, the capturing will be done with respect to the first object only. That's the reason I need to perform the customization of the object with respect to the loop, as well as with respect to the capture commands as well. So simply I'll go here, I'll copy the same thing here. Not copying properly. Okay, let me do it again here. Problem. Let me type it. It is not showing the over as well. Dollar dot to string. The same way I need to do with the another one as well. Dollar. If we give $2 and we put the cursor, it will be displayed all available variables inside this particular task, irrespective of the data type. That might be the string, that might be the number, that might be the dictionary, that might be the window, whatever it may be. Okay, if you give this $2, it will be showing you the over. So here from this list, I'll be selecting this loop counter. So after selecting the loop counter, as it is not expected format, as this is the number format, right? So I'm converting this to the string type by providing the dot number to string method. So it has been captured. Let me run it. See, first plan, closing this, next one. Like this, it is going through each and every plan. But my requirement is it should not go through each and every one. We should collect the data which is greater than 500 and less than 2000. So now I have to build that particular logic. So I'm just stopping this bot. To continue the procedure as I stopped manually. That's the reason it is showing the error. There is no issue with the bot performance actually. As I interrupted manually, it is showing the error. That's it. Closing this. Now I need to put the condition that what is the condition? The plan price value should be greater than 500 and less than 2000. For that, what I need to do is I need to search for the if package here. If the if condition here, after fetching the, remember this if condition has to be placed after fetching the values. After fetching the values only. Okay. After fetching this, here in the condition, I need to select the number validation because say I need to check that whether greater than 500 and less than 2000, right? So what is those are 500 and 2000 numbers, right? For the reason I need to go with the number validation. So number condition I'm selecting here and that number. So number condition I'm selecting here. Here source value. What is my source value? Plan price, right? Plan price I need to select. So I'm clicking on insert. See if I see here, plan price is not displaying. The reason is whenever we are fetching the plan price, we are assigning it to a string type variable. Why we are assigning it to a string type variable? Because the expected outcome of this capture command is string only. That's the reason we don't have any other option. Giving against to the plan price only. Of course, any type of variable we can choose that. That is the different concept. But as per expected standards, we assigned it to the string type. But here we need to validate against to number type, right? That's the reason what I'll do here. I'll be giving single dollar symbol here. Then it will be displayed all available variables irrespective of the data type. Then I'll be selecting here that plan price. After selecting that, this is the string format. This is not the expected, right? That's the reason here I am converting the string to the number. Earlier, if you see in the loop, we converted number to string. Here we are converting string to number. String to number. Now it will be converting to the number. Then I will say that the value should be greater than 500. And I am adding one more condition to validate against to 2000. That's the reason I am selecting add condition here. Here the condition is and condition or R condition. If any one condition should match, then you can go with the R condition. But here both the conditions should be satisfied. That it should be greater than 500 is one condition and it should be less than 2000 is another condition. So both the conditions should be satisfied, right? That's the reason I'm going with AND condition. So here simple. Again, I'll be taking the number condition. Go down number condition. I'll be against this variable and it should be less than 2000. I'm saving this. Okay. Once this condition is satisfied, this condition is satisfied, what we need to do as per this requirement, the data should be logged into the data should be logged into a CSV file with appropriate headers. We'll be discussing about headers in a while, but for the thing is we need to log into a CSV file. Okay, guys. So how can we do this? Is I'm searching for a command called log2 file. Under log2 file package, I am dragging this log2 file under this if package. So I am taking the log2 file where it has to log. So I am browsing that. It has to log inside the this downloads with the name of VI plans. So I'll be renaming it as extracted VI plans under download files under downloads folder. Okay, if I go to my downloads folder here, actually will not be seeing that one. Okay, let me type. See, extracted VI plans CSV file is not there. But remember this, whenever this log2 file command we use, if the file is there, the data will be logged into the file. If the file is not there, this particular log2 file command is going to create the file first, then it will log the data. So even though file is not there here, we need not to worry about the errors. It will be taking care of creating file. Okay, that's the reason I'm doing this. And here I'm going to log the information. What is that information? Plan price, comma, validity. This information will be logged. And here I'll be selecting append to the existing log. If I select the overwrite, what will be happen? So first it will be coming to this plan. So where is this? This 539. So it will extract, it will log. As I said, overwrite, whenever it's come to the next iteration, this 539 will be deleted and this 839 will be logged in. Okay. So it should not be happen. All the data should be there, right? That's the reason I'm selecting the appending to the existing log file only. Okay, I don't want the timestamp. That's the reason I haven't selected the timestamp. If you want to know what is this, while you are practicing, just select it and observe it. What is this timestamp? Okay, I'm doing log2 file here. And if you observe here one, in terms of coding standards perspective, see, to validate this one, whether it is greater than 500 and less than 2000, we need not to extract this validity information, right? But still we are extracting. If I drag this command inside to this if condition, what will be happen? Whenever this condition is satisfied, this extraction is not going to be happen. That's the reason we'll be saving the bot execution time. For suppose we have 10 records. If I keep like this, all the 10 times this line number 4 is going to be executed. But if I keep like this inside this if condition, only 5 records are going to satisfy this particular condition. Assume that. In that case, only 5 times this command is going to be executed. In the desktop 5 times, this command will not be executed. So in that 5 iterations, this command execution time will be saved. Like this, we need to implement the coding standards. Okay, even though if you keep it here and or if you keep it inside the loop, the result will be saved. But in terms of standards, if you want to prove as a good developer, you need to consider this kind of best practices as well. Unnecessarily, we need not to put the load on the loop. Okay, I mean load on the bot. In this way, for suppose you may see this, you can ask that say what is the use of this one? What is this? Is very fraction of seconds only, right? So as we are dealing with the 10 records or 20 records, this is the fraction of seconds only. When you are dealing with the 1000 records, 10,000 records, 1 lakh records, this time is definitely matters. Okay, that's the reason we need to consider these kind of best practices only. Okay, so far I have defined the log2 file command only. But if we observe here, we need to have the appropriate headers also. For that, what I'll do is I'll create one log2 file command just before to this loop. Okay, I'll put here, and here I'll be defining the headers. So I'm not giving these variables here. What is the headers? Price, comma, validity, and here I am overwriting it. Okay, because see why I'm overwriting this means, see, for suppose today you executed the bot, the data has been extracted. Here I selected the append. If tomorrow if you are going to execute the bot, this data is going to be append with the previous data. That's the reason I'm choosing the override this time. So if I select the override, what will be happen? All previous data is going to be erased, fresh data will be logged. Once this fresh data logged, and here I'll be choosing the append option, so it will be append to this header. That's the reason every day this particular CSV file is going to have fresh data only. The previous day data will be erased. Okay. Now let me remove this message box here, and I am going to remove close this open windows as well, because I kept the open command as well. Right here in the first command is open browser. That's about this one. And this is the capture command I use for the testing purpose to understand the domains path pattern. I'm removing this as well. And observe the guy, observe this guys. This increment operation is outside the if condition. If you put this increment operation inside the if condition, the bot will mess up. Remember this, this increment operation is outside the if condition. Okay, and inside the loop condition. Like this it will be the structure. Loop and if condition. Let me run this and we'll see whether this is going to be created or not. After this execution completed, I will be telling you two more best practices. That is how to close the window after our requirement is done. And see here, I told you that every day this bot is going to overwrite. That means the previous day data is going to be deleted and fresh data is going to be logged. But how can you maintain that previous data as well as today's data? That means every day one new file has to be created, and it should not be impact in any manner the previous day file. Okay, that is the condition. Okay, execution is completed. Okay, those two best practices I'll let you know. If you go back here, see your bot has done successfully. Okay, there is no error. Let me go and see whether this file is created or not. See, extracted VI plans file has been created. If you observe, see here the all price values are inside the condition only, greater than 500 and less than 2000 only. If you go and see here, the plans which are less than 500 not captured, that is this 299 and 359 and 479, these are, and greater than 2000 also not captured. If you go and see this 2899 and this 3001, these were not captured, so the condition is satisfied. And as I told you earlier, let's implement those two best practices. How to do that is simple. After this loop, again I'll be going to the browser package and I'll choosing the close. Close. What has to be closed? This particular tab or particular window or all browsers. As I select the variable here, here I'll be simply giving this one. This particular window is going to be closed. This is one best practice. Okay. See here, it's not closed. Even bot execution is completed because I haven't used the close browser command. And the another best practices I told you that, right? So every day's log should be maintained. Previous data should not be erased. For that, what I'll do is I'll create one variable, string type variable called custom date. Here I'll be defining that. After that, what I'll do, I'll go to the string package. Here I'll take the assign operation just before to this log2 file, and here I'll be assigning this information. I'll be taking this system variables. Like what I'll do is, let me give a dollar symbol here. System dot day. I'll select. Okay. Whenever I select the system dot day, you observe here. It is throwing error symbol. Okay. Or else let me try one more pattern. Otherwise, we'll come back to this procedure. So I'll go to the date package. The date package, and where is this date package? Yeah, date and time package. I'll take the assign option here. I'll take the assign option here, and here I'll go through the variable option, and here I'll be choosing the variable. So this will be conversions, will be all these conversions will be very difficult task. Okay, I'll show you the simple way using the type conversion. So here simple, I'll select that system. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. System dot day. System day I'll select, but as it is throwing the error, I need to convert into the string type. I'll give the dot symbol and two string. The underscore. I'll assign the system month in the same way. System one, and I'll be converting this date format to the string format. Again underscore. This time I'll be giving the system here. Let me go here. So in this way, simply we can do that. We can do that using the date package as well, but it will take a lot of steps. But in this way, we can go with this single step. That's the reason I am demonstrating this method. You can go with this one. So in this way, we can save the number of lines and we can save the execution time as well. So I'm assigning to the custom date. And here what I'll do is in the log2 file, I'll be appending the custom date variable to this file name. So underscore give the custom date file. So every day one new file will be created, that is executed, extracted VI plans followed by the today's date. Okay. Saving and running. This time one new file will be created. That file will be having the today's date as well. It is waiting at the loop. Okay, everything everything is done, but the only thing here is close option not performed. Why it's not performed means here I choose the tab. Actually, it's the window, right? If I go with the all browsers, it will not ask me that which browser has to be closed. Here I need to choose the window actually, but by mistake I choose that as a tab. So let me do this now. Browse. Let me run this command alone from here. This window is open here, right? That's opened. I didn't close it manually. In there, see, it's closed. So like this, we can close the browser as well. Let me go to the downloads and let's see that has been created or not. Okay, this underscore is came, but why this file name not custom date? Okay, let's go to Google. This has been created, but why the data is not there means if you observe, if I go inside the loop, here I forgot to change the file. That's the reason. Again, it's updated this file only, where previous file. Okay, see, it has the double data. Okay, let me fix it now. So like this, we need to troubleshoot as well. Sometimes this kind of mistakes will be happen. Even these are small things we'll be doing. So that's the reason once we wrote the code, testing is important. We should not go blind that I wrote very well code. It will be executed anyway. So testing should be done and troubleshooting should be done. Okay, let me run it again this time. And here it is waiting a lot of time, right? So what is the waiting period here? 15 seconds. Okay, let me reduce it to the just 10 seconds. Let me run and demonstrate one more time this one. This time we fixed the naming issue inside the log2 file as well as the close browser command issue as well. This time it has to be executed as expected. The execution is completed. There is no error. The browser also closed. See, I'm not seeing that Waveland's browser window anymore. Let me go here. Again, it's not created. I gave it here. Gave it here. Why? Here it came, but somehow this date is not pending to this one. Okay, let's see why this date is not appending here. Okay, since okay guys, this command is disabled. Yes, this command itself disabled. See, this is the mistake we did. Okay, let's execute one more time. We enable this time. The execution is completed. Let's say hopefully this time we get the expected. See, we got it. Okay, the data also there. So like this, we'll be implementing the project.